Hello everyone and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew, joined with me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest movers of the market, what to watch for this week, and more. Looking at our heat map here from Friday, right, we can see a lot of stocks were in the red, and there's a pretty good reason for it. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Crowdstrike outage. We're going to be talking a little bit about that in today's video, and what to kind of expect for this week moving in from that huge outage we had. So obviously we can see Nvidia was down. Apple was barely up. The rest of tech was down. Everything was pretty much sliding. Tesla down 4%. The car industry definitely got hit pretty hard with this Crowdstrike outage because they have a lot of their software on their computers, and the Crowdstrike outage, they pushed an update and basically just ruined everyone's computers, right? Not working at all. But yeah, looking at SPY's chart, that's definitely reflected in SPY's chart here. We could just see downward all day with very few pullbacks to the upside. And even those pullbacks were just immediately met with being pulled back down. So SPY definitely took a hit from it. If we didn't have that Crowdstrike outage, I was honestly looking for 550 as a level to bounce off of, maybe back to the upside. But with this Crowdstrike outage, it's kind of hard to predict where SPY will go just because we have so much bearish news, right? So yeah, SPY definitely not doing too well here. If we take a look at Crowdstrike's actual stock, they are publicly traded, right? And as we can see here, as soon as this loads in, right, they didn't do too bad, right, on Friday, but it's really in aftermarket where they're going to be feeling it, right? And even on Friday, they were down, but not nearly as much as they should be. I think moving into pre-market on Monday at around like 4 a.m. when pre-market opens, right, we're going to be sliding down even lower, which could drag the market lower because I feel like a lot of people are watching Crowdstrike right now. And they've put out multiple things saying they're working on it, but not really any concrete updates yet. I just read an article before this video started, and if I pull it up here on my other monitor, it says Crowdstrike has apologized, but they have not mentioned whether or not they intend to provide compensation to the affected customers. So if they're not, backing up what has happened with money and stuff, a lot of companies are going to be losing money, and that is not good for the market, right? We don't want companies to lose money. We want them to gain cash flow. We want them to gain EPS. We want them to gain revenue, and this is definitely harming them. So this quarter, maybe we could see it slide even lower. You know what I mean? Like a lot of stocks could slide even lower just because Crowdstrike is just, messing a lot of things up right now. So yeah, we did have a gap down moving into Friday, pretty significant gap down. And we finished the day down 11% from Thursday's close. So yeah, just keep an eye on Crowdstrike moving in. I know they don't really drive SPY, but if they're just slipping lower and lower, that means that things are not really looking up, right? So tech definitely reflected Crowdstrike's chart as well, right? Just completely sliding, gap down in the pre-market as well. Stocks like Nvidia, Microsoft not so much. Well, as you can see here in pre-market, yeah, but they did recover. But tech, they do use a lot of Crowdstrike software, and Crowdstrike is a antivirus software. So, they have it on a lot of their computers, and it completely messed up their computers, right? So they can't really work right now, and they might have lost a lot of data. So definitely not good for the market here. I'm definitely going to be watching to maybe not enter long in any plays tomorrow, or maybe even for the whole week, depending on how we start looking. But yeah, we're especially with the semiconductors. We already had threat of Joe Biden saying that he was going to limit their sales to China. So already bearish there for our chip stocks. And then we come in with this, and Crowdstrike is just coming in and messing a lot of things up. So a lot of bearishness could be seen here this week, right? We could slip pretty low with SPY especially. But in other news, the VIX is still really high. So I think it's going to keep like this until we get like a concrete solution on Crowdstrike. But VIX is at 16.52 right now, which is pretty high for the last 3 months. If we jump out to the 3-month chart here, we can see the last time we saw these levels was all the way in April. So not too good here for the market. We got a lot of short-term volatility. The VIX is a volatility index, as you can see. You can read it up here or down there. And it basically just tracks the volatility of the S&P 500. So this means that it's going to be pretty volatile in the short term here. But gold, in other news, it's been carrying up, right? We kind of slipped a little bit down, but yeah, gold is doing quite well right now. And honestly, I think gold can continue to the upside because we do have a lot of, especially with this whole thing, people are going to lose a lot of confidence in the dollar. And when people lose confidence in the dollar, gold will rise. So I still have gold moving back up to the upside this week. If anything's going to be green, it's going to be gold, right? But yeah, just watch out for those chip stocks, everything under NVIDIA, right? If we take a look at our heat map here, just be careful. Don't really enter long or swing long this week, right? Because we have a lot of chip stocks red. I mean, look at this heat map here for the chips, right? Super, super, super red with the exception of Apple. So yeah, just be careful this week because we do have a lot of news and you want to stay aware, get the latest updates with what is going on. And we will have that in the videos. But jumping over to Landon now for a recap of our plays from Friday.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So in terms of big money plays, we had a few. First one being, typical IWM put. To reiterate the play, strike of 215, expiration of 8/16/2024, total premium count of 4 million, and a total volume of 16K. This was called out on the 18th, and we had a really nice move there. A lot of money was made for all those that entered. Then the second one was piece for ticker symbol PCRX. Just to reiterate the play for you guys, put option contract, strike of 20, expiration of 8/16/2024, total premium count of 603K, and a total volume of 2K. Another really good play as we saw the stock just, kind of gradually go lower and lower. But moving on to a few big money plays that we kind of saw get called out over the weekend. First one being for ticker symbol GLD or gold. And this one is a call option contract, strike of 230, expiration of 9/20/2024, total premium count of 1.46 million, and a total volume of 4.5K. Again, big money is bullish on gold, as pretty much they always are, just because of, now after this Crowdstrike thing and all of that. Yeah, definitely bullish on gold just because of what's happened as of late. Moving on to our final big money play. It's actually for ticker symbol XLK. And this one is a put option contract, strike of 215, expiration of 8/16/2024, total premium count of 558K, and a total volume of 1.5K. And, this one, we saw it move down a little bit, not too much, but it was profitable at the end of the day, depending on when you entered. I am looking to see this stock to continue to kind of, downwards trend. But overall, all the big money plays have been moving really nicely as of late. But moving on from there, actually moving on to crypto, for Bitcoin, we actually just saw a bullish cross on the 13 to 50 EMA. So I am looking to see Bitcoin have a kind of a nice move up here in somewhere in the next month or so. I do kind of think the last time this happened, we had a really nice move upwards, and the previous time before that as well. And same thing with Ethereum on the 13 to 50 EMA. We saw a bullish cross as well. So I'm looking to see Ethereum have, a nice bullish move in the next month or so. But in recent news, actually, this actually just happened on Instagram. Joe Biden actually just officially dropped out of the race. Whether that's a surprise to you or not, we definitely should watch ticker symbol DJT to the upside this week, just because Joe Biden officially dropping out about 20 minutes ago on Instagram. We could see Donald Trump's company skyrocket, as it's a little more likely he's going to win the race. But other than that, back to you, Andrew.
Yeah, Landon, great call out there. I actually didn't even know that. I was prepping for the video, so I haven't really been on Instagram, but that's good. Joe Biden needs to go send a retirement home and just chill out for the rest of his life, right? But with that IWM play, really like the puts here for this week. IWM already had a huge move. I think it can slip even lower. and there's money backing it. So we're going to be checking on Monday to see if that big money investor is still in and potentially take entry. That will all be in our free Discord. Link is in the description. Nothing costs nothing to join. You got nothing to lose by joining. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. One thing I forgot to go over though, China stocks will probably also slip with this because I'm sure that Crowdstrike might extend to some of these China stock companies, especially since some of them are based in the U.S. I believe, or they have offices in the U.S. So PDD, KWeb, Baba, I think they could all go to the downside this week. Not too concrete on that. The thing I am more concrete on is Nvidia, those chips and everything else like that. Tech sliding this week to the downside. So just be careful and don't enter long in a very steep downtrend. That would definitely not be a good idea. Taking a look at earnings for this week, though, we are really, really packed with earnings. Most of these companies are not super notable, but we do have some notable ones that I'm going to be watching out for. First one's Verizon. I'm a long-term shareholder of Verizon, so I'm going to be watching this pretty closely here. Not too worried about it, right? Time in the market beats timing in the market, so I'm planning to hold Verizon for years, so I'm not too worried about them. We have another financial institution, Truist Financial, reporting on Monday before open as well. Monday after close, not a whole lot going on. Before open on Tuesday, we do have Coca-Cola reporting earnings, General Electric, UPS, Lockheed Martin. I'm another big fan of Lockheed Martin for long-term shares. Going to be watching that pretty closely as well. Once again, I've been holding that forever, so I don't plan on selling. But yeah, I'm going to be watching that. Spotify we also have, so pretty packed earnings here. Google, Tesla, right? This could definitely, affect SPY a little bit. Those are kind of our larger cap companies compared to like UPS and not Coca-Cola, but UPS and General Electric. So, I'm going to be watching these pretty closely here. And if they come in bad, I mean, the amount of downtrending pressure, bearish pressure on SPY, if these come in like super bad, is going to be pretty crazy. Now, Google doesn't really correlate that heavily to SPY, neither does Tesla, but it's definitely not good if, those aren't holding up and they're also slipping. Definitely not good for the whole sector of that market, right? We do have Visa reporting as well after close on Tuesday. We're going to be taking a look at our economic calendar, so just ignore all this. We're going to be going more in depth into that. AT&T before open. I'm also a long-term shareholder of AT&T, so I'm going to be watching that pretty closely as well. Other than that, Wednesday before open, we're pretty quiet. After close on Wednesday, we do have IBM, Chipotle, Waste Management reporting, and Ford. So those are some notable ones for Wednesday. Before open on Thursday, I'm just looking through this real quick. We got Royal Caribbean. I know a lot of people that hold that for long term. Southwest also, Southwest Airlines. After close, we don't really have a lot of stuff going on here. After close, just some random companies I've really never heard of before. Before open on Friday, only notable company I really see here is Colgate. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump over to our economic calendar now and take a more in-depth look at that. So taking a look at our economic calendar real quick for this week, not super, super packed. We do have some notable things. So existing home sales, not really going to affect the market. Wednesday, we do have global U.S. manufacturing PMI for the S&P. So keep an eye on that. That could be pretty interesting. Depending on how it comes in. Durable goods, GDP. I'm going to be watching this pretty closely. This will definitely affect the market. GDP quarter on quarter is coming out for quarter 2. So definitely keep an eye on this, right? This will be pretty important. And then Friday, we've got our PCE price indexes for month on month and year on year. So really only days that we have some major economic events, providing that the numbers on Wednesday with the global U.S. manufacturing PMI don't come out like super low. Or super high, obviously, is Thursday and Friday. So just remember that. Keep an eye on it. Stay alert in the market. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Trading Table. This has been Andrew and Landon. Please be sure to check out our free Discord. Link is in the description. We have all our plays in there. You get them right away instead of having to watch the video. And it's great. We're always in the voice channel. And we actually go live every day at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, guys, we'll catch you tomorrow at market close.